Hello and welcome to PNN. I'm Howard Lee Lyon. We have breaking news at the top of the hour. A local teenager has fallen deep into a coma after being struck on the head by a window earlier today. For more on this story, we go to senior correspondent Lullaby League. Lullaby.
That's right, Howard. Tonight, friends and family can only look on and pray as 11-year-old Dorothy Gale lies unresponsive and sepia-toned in her bed. Gale had earlier in the day attempted to run away from home, but encountered fortune teller Professor Marvel, who convinced her that her family, particularly her aunt, needed her. She arrived home just as a cyclone hit, which blew open a window that hit her on the head and caused her current condition.
Isn't it unusual that Miss Gale wasn't in a storm cellar when the twister came through?
Unusual doesn't even begin to cover the goings-on at the Gale farm. Dorothy's aunt, uncle, and several farmhands were all in the storm cellar, yet none of them seemed concerned about Miss Gale's whereabouts. Moreover, they had locked the storm cellar door, leaving Miss Gale to fend for herself during this dangerous and terrifying time. In the end, Miss Gale might have been safe in her bedroom, but then why weren't the windows secured to ensure they wouldn't whip open in high winds? And considering the dangers of concussions and brain bleeds, why wasn't Gale taken to a hospital? Why wasn't a doctor called for? It makes you wonder why Miss Gale's parents, wherever they are, would leave her with such negligent family members. Howard?
Okay, thank you, Lullaby. Let's go to senior correspondent Tim Woodsman, who has more details on Miss Gale's activities earlier in the day. Tim.
Well, Howard, Miss Elmira Gulch, a neighbor of Gale's, filed a criminal complaint this morning stating that Gale's dog Toto had bitten her on the leg. And after verifying the dog bite with local medical professionals, the sheriff issued an order to have the dog destroyed. Miss Gulch then made her way to the farm to retrieve the animal.
Miss Gulch went to retrieve the dog?
Yes.
Isn't that something that the sheriff should have done? Or animal control?
I suppose, yeah.
It just seems like Miss Gulch would have had motivation to be unnecessarily cruel to Toto.
True. Miss Gulch does have a reputation for being a bit of a witch. In any case, Miss Gale saw her aunt and uncle's reluctance to support Toto as a betrayal. And that's the reason she ran away.
Okay, thank you, Tim. Let's take a look at a tweet coming in from Elmira Gulch's confirmed account that reads, quote, "Dog bite is still pretty sore, but Doc gave me poppies. Poppies will help me sleep." I'm not certain that's true. I think there's a little more to it than that.
Howard.
Senior correspondent Joe D. Garland, what do you have for us?
Well, after some very tense moments, pleased to report that Dorothy Gale has regained consciousness. This is due no doubt to the medical expertise of Dorothy's aunt, who treated the girl's grade 3 concussion with a cold washcloth. Regardless, she's awake.
Excellent news, Joe. Is there any indication that Miss Gale might have suffered any brain damage?
Well, Howard, upon awakening, Dorothy claimed that she was transported to a technicolor land called Oz, where she encountered an anthropomorphic scarecrow, a lion, and a tin woodsman, whatever that is. Then she ran afoul with someone called the Wicked Witch of the West. After some sequences that seemed to pad out the story, she was informed that the ruby slippers she had gained at the beginning of her adventure could have taken her out of Oz at any time, and that when she clicked the heels of them together, she was returned home. So no, it doesn't appear that there was any brain damage. Back to you, Howard.
Okay, Joe, thank you. We'll have more details on this story as we receive them, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
You've been watching PNN, the Parody News Network.